bustin' wide. It's that new money, let the drugs drop. I cut my bitch off when the ball drop.
Hey guys, it's me, Maisha. I'm coming to you with my story time on how my ex-boyfriend cheated and how we broke up. So, just to give a little history about us, I met him in college. You know, my friend, she knew him from a class, so when I pointed him out, she was like, oh, go talk to him, like, you know. And I was like, no, not really, because the day that I initially saw him, I was looking crazy, and I just really wasn't ready for all that. So she went down and she went to try to go talk to him, but I left right behind her and I walked out the door. But the next time we had a game, me and her was both sitting behind him, and our school got into a fight with another school during the game, and so everybody had to evacuate the gym, and he's out there, and then he taps me and was like, oh, so are you the girl that was like, you know, that your friend asked about? And I was like, yeah. You know, I was nervous, but I was like, yeah. And he was like, okay, you know, he gave me his Facebook and all this other stuff. I seen that he had a girlfriend on Facebook, and I really wasn't trying to pursue a conversation with him or pursue anything more than just a friendly conversation. But me and him started talking, you know, and I found out that he was from the city and that he was homeless, that he didn't really have anything. So moving a little forward, you know, school break was probably not even like 2 or 3 weeks away, and he wanted to find his family during the semester, which he did towards the end, and he went to go live with them during the 1 month break. And what happened was that me and him was talking really heavy. You know, he broke up with his ex-girlfriend, and me and him started dating December 25th. So when we came back to school, everything was all peachy cream, you know, buddy buddy. It was the cupcake phase. And but when I went back to school for the spring semester, I started getting stares from girls like, ugh, and, you know, chatting it, like, you know. And I'm like, yo, like, I told him about it. He was like, oh yeah, they're just the females that was getting dick, and, you know, they ain't getting none on the regular. Now I'm with you. And I was like, all right, okay, because when he did have a girlfriend, he was messing with other females on campus, but that was on her time, you know. He was doing it while he was with her. So I was like, okay, cool, you know. I tried to dismiss it, but I was a commuter, so I went home and I was going to school, and he was going to school, and he was on campus with the people that he was messing with. You know, you never know what happens in dorms once you're not on there, you know. It's a college thing. So the whole college thing happened, and what happened is that I noticed that I started spending weekends with him, and he was telling his ex that he still loved her, and, you know, he misses her. And I'm like, yo, like, you're supposed to be with me and you're telling your ex that you love her? Like, you really need to figure out who you want to be with, because I am not playing this. And he's like, oh, I want to be with you and only you, you know, I just got a relationship with my ex and I'm still gonna have love for her. Cool, granted, like, that's okay, but you still can't be telling her that you love her and all this other stuff. You sending her mixed signals. So while we was on campus, he left for 5 days to go to her college, and he ended up sleeping with her and coming back to me saying, oh, I want to be with you. I only want you. I want this new opportunity. And I'm like, all right, cool. So school ends the spring semester of 2017, and he has to find somewhere to stay because he doesn't want to go back to his parents. So he finds an apartment with another dude and two Asian girls. And I was like, okay, cool, you know. I get him his first job before he ends up moving into that apartment. And it was cool, you know. I was spending weekends there. I was like spending weeks there at a time, you know, not being home, you know. And it it was a little okay time, you know. um he lost hours at his job, so I was the one picking up the slack. You know, I recently, not recently, but I have gotten a job after I got him a job. And when he lost hours at his job, I picked up the slack and started paying rent for him, you know, paying rent to, for like 2 months for him, and still doing what I had to do. So, there was the one Asian girl, he had to move out because of her, you know. And I noticed that he started to be a little too friendly with her, and I'm like, yo, like, you're a little too friendly with her. And she honestly thought that he was trying to fuck her, and I'm like, yo, like, you need to back off. The way that you're approaching her needs to be dimmed down a little bit. I don't feel comfortable, nor do I like the way that you're coming off to her. And he's like, oh, she think I'm trying to fuck her, and you think I'm trying to talk to her. Y'all both wildin'. And I'm like, yo, two people think the same, is thinking close enough to the same thing. Like, yo, you as a person really need to chill out how you come off to people. And so he had to move out because of her, and he found himself a studio apartment. I helped him pay for the security deposit, and then went and he went and paid the rest off. And then I got him another job, which was the job I worked at. And it was okay. I would never suggest anybody to have their boyfriend work where they work, because when you get into arguments, that's really not good. But yeah, I got him into the job that I got into, and everything was okay, you know. He was there, he didn't have nothing, no internet, no nothing. So I paid for the internet, and I put food in his house. And you know, I was there. I was truly, genuinely there for him, and I was trying to help him get stable. I was really trying to help him get stable. Like, you know, people don't understand, like, my Asia, why would you do that? As a person, I saw the potential in him, and to really sit here and not to help somebody that I am initially dating, that's messed up. You know, I was really that ride or die, like, yo, I'm gonna make sure you good. I'm gonna make sure you get everything you need. Don't worry about it. You're mine. So I'm gonna help you. And so that happened. So I was trying to spend like weekends, and I was spending every other day because I was going to college still with him. I was going to college, so I was trying to spend every other day with him, because I couldn't spend, you know, every day with him like I did when it was summertime. So I just told my mom, I was like, Mom, like, I honestly think that it's time to really move with him. I think that I'm ready. I'm 20 years old. I make sure I pay the little bills that I did have when I lived with her, and I worked crazy much. Like, I worked a lot. So she was like, okay, we're gonna get y'all to an apartment, see if y'all could get approved. And me and him got approved within 2 months. And I'm like, okay, good. The first experience, you guys, you know, everybody glorifies, oh, I'm moving in with my boyfriend, and the whole moving in with your boyfriend thing. Me and him was not on good terms, so that flew out the window. When we first moved in, we wasn't on good terms. We was barely speaking, but my mom and my aunt helped us move into apartments, so we had to talk. And once we finally got moved in, I mean, the apartment was okay, but us together, we fought and we fought and we fought, argument after argument. You know, there were some days, let me tell you, there were some days that were amazing, okay? I can't lie about that. You know, we was good for a while, and then, you know, he ended up getting a new job with more pay, and that was cool. Like, everything was going our way. And we was just saving, trying to save together. And when he got the new job with more money, I found out that there was this girl that he worked with that I really ain't like her vibe at all. Like I ain't like Shorty, nada. Like and and it was like, yo, like I really didn't like her. But you know, there was this one day where he came from work and he gets a text message. Mind you, I did his hair the day before, and it was like, oh, you look so sexy today with mad emojis. And I'm like, who's this? And he's like, oh, it's the coworker that I work with. I was like, yo, you need to put her in her place, because I don't like this at all. And he was like, okay, Maisha, like, calm down. I was like, no, put her in her place right now. And he wouldn't. That whole night he wouldn't, and it bothered me. And I'm like, yo, you can end this argument if you just put her in her place right in front of me. And he was like, I'm gonna do it tomorrow. So the next day I had to work, and I'm like, yo, you better put her in her place, because I had to come crazy to him. And he was like, okay. So he showed me the messages, was like, we really need to, what did he say? He said something to the fact, like, you know, that comment wasn't appropriate, and it kind of was disrespecting my relationship, and the conversations that we have late at night need to stop. I didn't know that they was having conversations late at night, and I didn't even think about the text until later on in the relationship, when I found out that they were on the phone late night while either like I wasn't there, or I was and I was somewhere else and not in the place, because we did have a 2-bedroom, so we did have 2 separate rooms, 2 privacies. And I'm like, oh my god, like pertaining to the messages, you know, to the message that he sent, I was fairly decent, but I didn't really trust him because of like what happened. So there was another time where I went with my mom to my grandmother's house, and she lives like in the forest, you know, secluded. And my mom get a text from my aunt, was like, yo, tell me why I see my Asian man up in the mall with some chick. And so y'all know I'm like, yo, what the hell? And I text my aunt and I screenshotted a picture and sent it to her. I was like, is it this chick? And she was like, oh my god, like that's the same girl, she just have different hair. And I was like, it was his coworker, guys. So now I'm sitting there like, yo, I'm trying to call him, and he's not answering. I'm like, yo, he really playing with me right now. And so he calls me, and I was like, so how was your day? He was like, oh, well, my day was okay, but I gotta tell you something. I was like, what you gotta tell me? Well, I was at the mall, and guess who I seen? I seen your aunt. And I'm like, yeah, so what else? He was like, yeah, you know, I just happened to see such and such, you know, her name inserted, such and such. And me and her was having lunch together, and your aunt just happened to pop up. And I was like, oh, guys, you don't understand the hurt, how mad I was. Okay, first, let me explain how mad I was, okay? I was really mad because every time that I wanted to go out, I was like, let's go out to eat, let's go to the next town, let's go shopping, let's go to the casino, let's do this, let's do that. And oh, I'm broke, I ain't got no money. Anytime we go out to eat, I'm paying for it. You know, he's saying he don't got no money, but he worked a full-time job, you know. And I worked a part-time, but I was working full-time hours, so I know we had money. You know, he just didn't want to do it. But when it came to her, he was willing to break his neck. Well, I wouldn't say break his neck, but go out his way to go and take somebody out, or even feed somebody, because even when I'm hungry, I don't, like, he doesn't even pay for me to eat. The only time he paid for me to eat was twice. Once at a sushi place and once at the casino, and that was it through our whole 2-year relationship, okay? So now, you know, I'm pissed, and me and him is getting into an argument, you know, about the whole situation with this girl. And I'm just like, yo, like, I already told you about her. Like, what? So when I come from my grandmother's house and go back to my house, he comes and I'm like, and we get into a bigger argument, and then he ends up leaving for a week. Where he goes, nobody will ever know. But he came back and he was like, yeah, anyway, by the way, she's bisexual, and you know, she doesn't even like dudes. So guys, okay? So while we was on campus, while back in our college days, he was a really big polygamy type of person, okay? I already told him that I've been through that situation and I never want to be in that situation again. I dated an African guy who brought me around his friends, and all his friends didn't know he was engaged at the time that he was messing with me. And I didn't even know myself. You know, I found out through Facebook and through Snapchat and through Instagram that he had a whole fiance and was dealing with 2 other females on the side besides me, you know? So I'm like, yo, like, I told him about the African dude, and I'm like, yo, I do not want to be put in that situation again. Like, I am a woman who wants to have a man for herself, who really wants to be in a not one way, but in a 1-to-1 ratio relationship. You know, not a 2-to-1, not me, her, and you. Like, I don't do that. Like, I don't go that way. Honestly, I don't. So, you know, he even tried to do that with me and his ex, you know, talk about polygamy with his ex and then try to have me. And I'm like, no. So, yeah, he was like, yeah, you know, the coworker is bisexual. She don't like dudes. But girls, my girls, and dudes too. You know when somebody likes your man or your girlfriend, okay? We just know, okay? But he swear up and down she did not like him. So I'm like, okay, so you found one. You found a female who likes you that I know of, but you swear she don't, and she's bisexual. Cool. All right. Furthermore, he's just going hard and hard trying to defend Shorty, and I'm like, yo, like, you really not on my side about this? You don't see how mad and how burning up and how heated I am right now? Cool, it's whatever. So he was like, Maisha, I'm sorry, I just want to be good. I'm tired of arguing. You know, everything that happens, you know, you're the, what did he say? He was like, you're a big chapter in my life. You know, you helped me do everything. You know, you helped me with this and you helped me with that. And you're the chapters, like the pages of my book is already written and you're already written in it. You know, I can't ask for more and I'm so grateful for you and blah, 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 blah. So guys, okay, after all that, we was okay, but I still did not trust him at all. I did not trust him. And so, you know, we moved into our second apartment December 1st of 2018. For the first week, it was okay, you know. It was okay for the first week, and then the second week I started noticing changes of him. You know, he started sleeping in the living room, and the previous apartment before was a 2-bedroom. We downgraded to 1. So I noticed that he started sleeping in the living room. Granted, you know, his PS4, all his stuff was in the living room. Not all his stuff, but the majority of his stuff was in the living room. But we had a big old room to ourselves, you know. I had many outlets that he could have hooked up his game to, and we could have sat in the room chilling together. But no, he decided that he wanted to be out here, you know. And then he started not even coming home. He wouldn't even come home to the next day. And I'm like, yo, like, what's going on? So I'm praying and I'm praying and I'm praying and I'm praying to God. I'm like, God, please tell me. If he is the one, please show me. If he is not, please show me. I need to know. Like, I was really sitting here, you know, praying for 2 weeks straight. 2 weeks straight, okay? And it was just so nerve-wracking, because it's like God will only show you what you need to be shown at the time he wants to show you, okay? So he works December 24th. Oh, and before that, we wasn't talking. Like, the first week we was fine, and then when we got into that argument, we did not talk. Our routine was, I was in my room, I walked to the bathroom right past him while he played on the game, laughing on the game, laughing at his phone. I'll go back to my room, I'll go back to the bathroom and out the door, and we would not talk, no texting, no nothing. And so the 24th he worked, we ain't talk. The 25th, I worked on Christmas, our 2-year anniversary, and I was like, happy 2-year anniversary. And he was like, happy 2-year anniversary to you. What's wrong with you? And I was like, nothing's wrong. I'm cool. I'm chill. I'm fine. And the reason why I did not express to him what was going on was because in previous arguments and conversations that we had, anytime that I would come to him about something that was insecure, and mind you, it is very hard for me to come out and be like, yo, babe, like, I'm insecure about this. I need, can you help me? And every time I did come to him about it, he would help me with it. But when another argument comes about, he would be like, oh, but you this and that, you worried about other bitches, and you worried about this, and you not doing what the hell you supposed to do, and this and that, it would be to the point where he would be like, I'm the best thing. Like, literally, he felt like he was God gifts to women, he was a God gift to me. And it really sucked, because he was like, you ain't never gonna find another nigga that does what I do for you, how hard I go for you, how faithful I ever be to you. You ain't never gonna find that, because nobody our age these days are ever gonna do that. You ain't never gonna find nothing. And I really sat here and I thought that I would never ever, and I think that's what tried to keep me to him even longer, because of guys, he repeated this over and over and over again in our relationship, and I think I honestly stayed because of that, because he programmed that into my head. And if I can just rearrange everything in my head and really honestly just heal, I know I will find somebody who is out there for me, who listen, who will go hard for me, okay? The way I spent my money and my time and my love on him, if somebody can do that for me, and I know what I do, what I bring to the table. So if they can do what I did, I would be golden, and it's all in God's timing, guys. Okay. So let me get to how I found out. So I worked the 25th, and we barely talked. The 26th popped up, and I did my routine. I was in my room, and I was about to go take a shower, and he was like, babe, come here. And I'm like, hey. I was like, we really ain't talked for like 2 weeks straight, and he called me babe. So I'm like, okay, this might be God's sign, really being like, he's the one. And he was like, I feel like, you want me to touch you and all this other stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, like, yeah, like, I really was on your behind about, come in the room. Like, I want to be near you. Like, I understand we have a whole living room, but I don't want to sleep out here on no hard ass couch. Come in the bed, like, come chill, like, come spend some quality time, because all he was doing was on the game, chatting it up with his friends from his hometown, which I don't mind, because we lived here, we was living together and around each other 24/7, but it wasn't on any good terms at the time that I was really trying to have him come and spend time with me. And so I'm like, yeah, I do, I've been asking you for a while. And then, honestly, guys, we had an intimate moment, and I was really thinking up, like, God really just sent this, he really just sent this. This is his, like, this is what I've been praying for. And so the next day he went to work, and I was like, my mom was supposed to bring a a TV stand for me, which she did. She brought it with my stepdad, and I hooked my TV to my laptop because I found out through a friend that I could do that since I don't got cable. So I hooked my TV to my laptop, and I opened my laptop, and guys, like, my Gmail was paused on my laptop, and I was like, okay, so if my Gmail's paused, then whose Gmail's logged in? It was his Gmail was logged in. And I'm like, okay, whew, all right, calm down, my Asia. So on his Gmail, I seen that shorty from work, like his coworker, was like the most frequent contacted person. I'm like, oh my God, like he's contacting her, like, and I was all the way at the bottom, like barely. So I'm like, oh. So I went to go look on his Facebook, and guys, I looked at his Facebook and just know I had a full-blown panic attack. I was like, my heart was racing, I was shaking. Everything was just horrible, okay? Mind you, my mom just came 30 minutes earlier to drop off the TV remote, and I called my mom. I was like, Mom, please come here. And she was like, what's wrong, Maisha? I was like, come here now, like right now. She was like, Maisha, calm down. What's wrong? I said, I can't tell you what's going on. Just come here. And then you hear my stepdad in the background, like, yo, what's going on with Maisha? Like, what's wrong? Do I need to come? And Mama was like, nah, just chill. Like, I'm gonna go over to the house to see what's up. She cool. So I'm on the phone with my mom because, yo, I wanted to break everything in this house, yo. I wanted to flip shit, okay? Like it was the worst, okay? And my mom finally gets here. My mom books it here. And my mom was like, Maisha, like, what's going on? And I'm like, I'm in the corner, like, about to fall out and stuff. And my mom was like, what's wrong? And I'm like, look at the computer, read everything. And she opened the computer, and she was like, yo, really? This nigga nasty. She was like, what? What happened was that on his Facebook, he was writing the person that he used to work with, the girl, the coworker, and her girlfriend. So he had a group chat talking about, like, my bloodline or my lifeline in the flesh or some shit like that. And it was like, oh, daddy, we miss you. Oh yeah, we can't wait for the D. And mind you, this was like a week or so prior to our 2-year anniversary. And I'm like, yo, like, he dead ass cheated on me. Like, I dead ass just found the evidence. I'm telling you, God smacked me across the head. That was the key moment where God was like, I told you, okay? So, like, you don't understand how hard it was. Like, body part images was sent to each other. There was the coworker with him, and they was both naked with, like, the cover over them. She was over him, like, and I'm like, I'm like, yo, like, what the hell is going on? And I called him on the phone, guys, yo. I called him on the phone, and I was like, hey, can I ask you a question? He was like, yeah. Yeah, you can. Like, what's up? I'm at work, though. And I was like, yeah, I know. I was like, have you ever cheated on me? He was like, no. I was like, have you ever slept with anybody recently besides me? He was like, no. Why? And I was like, I put down the phone, and I cried, and I tried to cry softly. And my mom is still there in the background. I just told her to be quiet. And he was like, what's wrong? What's going on? And then at that point, I couldn't help it. I was like, and you telling them, oh, since I stopped fucking with my Asia, that, and I start fucking with y'all, that everything is, I'm all happy. And he was laughing in my ear, guy. He was laughing in my ear, okay? And then I just started reading messages after messages after messages, and he was like, yo, I gotta go, I was like, yo, you need to bring your behind home because we need to talk. So I told my mom, I was like, Mom, when he gets here, please, like, I don't need you to be here. like when he gets here, I need you to go. And my mom was like, okay, Myasia, don't put no hands on him. Don't make sure he don't put no hands on you. Call me if you need me, because somebody will be up in jail today. And I was like, okay, Mom, like, I get it. So my mom leaves, and I call him again around like 7 something. I'm like, where are you? Like, we need to talk. And he was like, I'm on my way, calm down, you know, I'll be home in a few minutes. I gotta go. Click. And then his Facebook's still open, and I see, like, right after we get off the phone, he's calling his like the girl from that he worked with, talking about, like, you know, oh yeah, you need to pick up, like, yo, I need to talk to you. And so when he finally gets here, he's like, talk. And I'm like, me talk? I was like, you're the one that got caught. Like, what is this? Oh, cause I can't be doing this shit with you. You know, you're wilding. This is all a setup. You know, I'm doing stuff in the streets, and both of them is helping me. You know, the co-worker and her girlfriend. Guys, mind you, the co-worker's girlfriend, okay, she was one of my friends in high school. We had a little high school clique, and she was one of them. I actually knew her before we went into high school, and me and her was really pretty close. So she and her damn friend, or her damn girlfriend, knew about me dating this boy, okay? So he was like, yeah, we were doing stuff, and if we get stopped by the cops ain't gonna realize that you know, we're working together, because why? And all in all, just on the outside, we look like we're in a polygamy relationship. You know, he was going mad hard. And even in his inbox, yo, he was going mad hard, talking about, this is gonna be us, y'all both need to wear this, and it was like, yes daddy. Girl, I'm sorry. Girls, YouTube, let me tell you this, okay? It was the coworker and then her girlfriend that I knew. That was one of my friends back in high school. Shorty has a whole boyfriend, okay? And my ex knew about this, okay? My ex even went out the way to go to a friend of a friend that I know, talking about, oh yeah, she's not happy with her mans, and she feels happy in my arms, and I'm like, yo, you going out the way to do too much, okay? So back to the story. You know, he's wilding, and guys, you don't understand. Like, when we argue, I am not the calmest person. I'm like, yo, what the da 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 da, like, and during this time, I was the calmest. I was so calm that I've ever been. Like, I was the calmest that I ever been, and I was just like, so like why, like, and he was like, oh, I just can't have you in the streets. You're doing too much. You don't do nothing. Da 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 da. I don't do nothing. Talking about, oh, you don't cook for me, and you know, you don't be intimate with me as much as you used to be. And I'm like, so he starts packing his little PS4 and his monitor, and he left to go to the girl I knew house. You know, the co-worker and then her girlfriend. I knew the girlfriend, and he went to her house. And honestly, the day that he didn't come home, he was at her house. So I'm sitting there crying, and my mom calls me back and was like, yo, look, I called my mom, and she was like, yo, what happened? And I'm just crying. Guys, like, my mom was like, yo, you gotta understand, you should have left him from the jump, okay? You should have left him from the jump. When he left you for 5 days to go with his ex, slept with her, and then came back to you. You should have left him back in college. Yo, you really sat here and invested in this child, and all he can do is just cheat. He didn't even leave you. My ex is a big person. He implied. I am a man. If I ever was to cheat, it never. He didn't even say that. He was like, I am a man, and if it ever came down to me having feelings for somebody else, I would leave you. I wouldn't even sit here and play with your feelings. But I really had to sit here and find out from my computer, from God, honestly, from God, that he was cheating on me a week prior to our 2-year anniversary. And guys, I'm trying so hard not to cry, yo, but I did everything for this child, yo. And it is so hard to sit here and really make this video, guys. I made this video time and time again. Like, I really thought about the situation, thought about what happened, and I try to make it shorter every time, but there is so much detail and so much information behind this story that I'm telling you that y'all, it would probably be like a 2-hour type conversation with y'all, okay? But like, I did everything for him. I really stuck out my neck for somebody that I thought, and he spitted game, okay? He was a very intellectual talker. The way he talked really would melt somebody. And let me tell you, he is cute. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna bash him like he ugly, he this, he that. No, he is cute. So when he left me, because I got tired of doing what I was doing, paying for this, paying for that. Oh, babe, can I get a haircut? I need money for a haircut. I need money for gas. You know, I need money for this, and I'll be paying bills, and he end up forgetting. But I wouldn't even remind him because why I'm his girl, and I'm gonna hold it down for him. He don't even got it, you know. And he really found 2 females who would do it for him. I was technically his mother, okay? He didn't have a good relationship. He did not have a good relationship with his mom, and still does not. And I was his mother. And he found 2 females who now took my place of being his mom, who can now pay for this and pay for that, you know. And it hurts because it's like, yo, we had 2 apartments, you know. I invested so much time, and then you end up like you end up leaving me for some vagina, you know, for 2 females who's willing to get down and dirty with you, you know. And I just told him, like, yo, like, after he left, I just told him, like, you got to get your stuff by the 1st. Like, you need to get your stuff on the 31st, because when the 1st hits, I don't want to see you, I don't want to talk to you, no nothing. And he was like, all right, don't worry about that, you know. He really tried to embarrass me or try to make me feel down about myself, because after he left and went to Shorty house that I know, I seen on his Facebook, he was like, yeah, my Asia just mad that I left her for y'all, you know. She fucked up, she could be with that nigga that she always been with. Like, I never cheated on him. Never cheated on him, okay? Never. And he was like, yo, she could be with that nigga who she been with, and I'm like, yo, he really out here thinking I'm doing stuff and I'm not. And then he's really he's trying to make it valid that, okay, he thinks my Asia doing something, so I'm gonna go do something with 2 other females, and didn't even break up with me, you know. So like, it's just crazy. So I told him to get his stuff, and he was texting me from 2 different phones, and he was like, oh yeah, you just mad I'm with, I have 2 females now. I was like, yo, you dead ass a bird, like, bird written across your forehead. And he was like, LOL, you just mad, be mad. He was like, my year gonna be great. And I'm just like, so I was like, make sure you get the rest of your stuff and leave the keys. He was like, LOL, don't worry about it. So a couple days later, he got his stuff, left the keys, and I changed the locks and all that. And then he was like, you still mad? And I'm like, what? Like, so the second I wrote him, because I really wanted to know why he couldn't be a man and why he had to choose them. I think I would feel another type of way if it was somebody I didn't know, but it was somebody I knew and somebody that I had to talk to him about, you know, like, yo, you need to back up, like, yo, I don't like her, like, she's really crossing the line. And he was like, oh, you don't got nothing to worry about, but obviously the end result is you fucking with her. and her girlfriend, supposedly, you know. And he was like, oh, they're a great team, they want better, they want to get out of the situation, you wasn't doing what you were supposed to do as a woman, now I found better. And I was sitting there like, wow, like, okay. So I blocked his number. A couple weeks went by, 2 weeks went by, 10 days from the 2nd. The day before my birthday, on the 12th, I just had, like I told you guys, I went and I looked at, like, I relapsed and I looked at his Facebook again because he was still logged on to everything on my computer. So I looked back, and, you know, that just validated that he never loved me, you know, and that he was really truly happy at what he did. So, you know, he telling his bro, yeah, bro, I had a threesome on the first day of the year. Yo was looking up for me, and I left my Asia too. I just gotta shake off these feelings, but it's gonna be okay, because I always do, like I always do with my other exes. It's gonna be all right. It's really looking up for me, and my girls is looking to get a third girl. We're all talking about it, you know. And I'm like, wow, I did so much for this dude, and he don't give no fucks. And then, you know, I seen pictures, titties popped up, them all naked, you know, his co-worker, her girlfriend, and him all naked in the bed. Mind you, the co-worker's girlfriend had halves a whole dude, like. So I'm like, wow. I was like, Maisha, like you really fucked up. Like, why did you even go and look back? And it's crazy because I seen myself as the most frequent caller that he's been trying to contact, but I blocked his number, so I wouldn't even know, like, if he was trying to call me or not. And, you know, I closed it and I called my mom crying, like, Mom, I just relapsed. She's like, why the hell would you do that? Like, Maisha, you're trying to get over him. Why are you? I was like, I'm sorry, you know, I just had to look. And she was like, well, at least this gives you validation that he don't fuck with you, and I've been told you this. And, you know, my mama gives me tough love, you know, but I respect it, and I love her for that. And she was like, now just log off of everything. Log off of everything and don't go back. And that's what I did. I made myself depressed the day before my birthday, and one of my good friends that I literally call her my sister because she's always been there for me, she really, like, kicked me in the butt and was like, no, get up, we're about to go out, we're about to have fun. And that's who y'all see in the previous video, is her. And you guys, you don't understand how depressed I was. Like, you know, I stopped talking to other females because, you know, dudes be like, oh, your girl is a hoe, like, one of your girls is a hoe, they gonna make you do something, like, they don't trust you around them. So I cut some of them friends off. But when we broke up, or when he left, I went to go and talk to them again. They was like, wow, Maisha, like, yo, like, you deadass made this nigga. Like, no, that you birthed him. That is your child, okay? Like, I was like, nah, I don't even want to think about it as that. You know, I was seeing somebody with potential and trying to get him stable and get him on the road to being the man that he claimed he was, that he could potentially be, because he was spitting me all these false dreams. But when it came down to it, and he was making more money than me, I was still providing, you know? And, you know, I helped him how to drive. I taught him how to drive. Me and him got a car together, and I let him put it in his name because he didn't have anything, you know. I bought massive things for him. I made sure he had a roof over his head. Like, guys, like, I know, written boo boo the fool on my forehead, okay? But it was purely out of love. It was so much. It was like, it was out of love. And so like, I just, like, I really hope this video comes and just tells people, like, yo, trust in God. Like, God will show you the way. He may not show you the way right now, but when it's time, God knows it is time, okay? I could have been sitting right now with him at this new apartment, and he could be doing X, Y, and Z and me not know. because I ain't come to God and be like, God, please show me who he really is. And God really showed me who he was. And I thank God for that. Girls and guys and girls, I'm just telling you, it take time to heal. I understand, you know, people don't know what's the difference between being alone and being lonely. Like, literally, I felt lonely when he left. I did not want to be in the apartment that we just recently got, because I was like, there's too many memories and I've been through too much with him and I don't want to do this. But I had to learn how to be alone. But I wasn't lonely because I had the support system of my mom, my dad, my grandparents, my friends, even the friends that, you know, speak to me once in a while. And like I said, I appreciate God sending all the love and blessings to me, sending all those people who love me and wants to see me do good. And it's really like, guys, I'm still healing, guys, and it's very hard for me, and it's kind of still hard for me to talk about this, because I really did invest and I really did love this boy. But I know it's going to take time to heal, and I can't, it's not going to be on my time, it's going to be on God's time, you know? And so it's kind of messed up, because it's like, yo, the winter is the time for breakups. Like, I don't know what it is about the winter. And being a Capricorn, like, yo, my birthday is in the winter. Like, yo. So, like, anytime it's the winter time, it makes me nervous. Because if I'm in a relationship, I'm nervous about breaking up. And then nervous about being depressed on my birthday. And it's like, yo, like, I don't understand. But it's not for me to understand. It's for me to learn. Because I know that God will send me somebody who is right for me, you know, and that's all I pray for. I am in no rush at all, guys, to be in no other relationship like he is. He jumped from one relationship to another relationship to another relationship. And, you know, some people thrive off of that. You know, he left an apartment that we invested in to go live with 2 other females, you know. They don't all live together. They live in separate houses. So he's hopping, skipping to 2 other females' houses. He's not from here. He has no family. So you leave a stable place to go hop and skip and jump with 2 other people? You know, at the end of the day, people are going to get tired of it. But the way that he portrays himself as a man, and I told you he's an intellectual talker, so he can talk his way through anything and talk his way into anybody's mind. Well, not anybody, but the ones who are naive, like I was naive. But all I can do is learn, and I just pray for healing. Anybody who is going through a breakup this season, I pray for your healing. You know, guys, as I experienced this and learned from this, I really see that, you know, I am a person of tradition. I love family, and I love everything about unity. Me and him wasn't a unit. And, you know, when we broke up, it showed me that, yo, my family was my friends and my actual family, you know. I lost myself, and people will call this, you know, this is the time of soul searching, soul surgery, you know, to find who you are, because a lot of people lose themselves in relationships. I know I did. A lot of men and women lose themselves because why? They invest too much. The other significant other is not enhancing, but they're draining. You know, they're just taking too much, and that's what happened with me. So I'm healing, and I hope that anybody who's going through a breakup is healing too. Like, there's so much that goes into the story that this story time will be 2 hour thing, but It's really time to heal, guys. We can only make ourselves better. We can only love somebody as much as we love ourselves. You can't lose yourself in somebody if you already love yourself, you know? You can always add. Be the person to add, not to take away. And that's what I learned from myself. Thank you for watching. Peace, love, and blessings.